Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is July 18th, 2016, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the economic calendar today, just one thing up on the horizon for today at 10:15 South African time. It's a Great Britain pound related event, and that will be the MPC, which is a monetary policy which will be discussing the implication of Brexit on the monetary policy. I believe the speaker's name is Whale, and that should be kind of interesting how that unfolds. But before looking at that, let's take a look at what happened with the Turkish lira. Obviously, this past Friday night, if you haven't heard, there was a failed attempt to overthrow the current leader of Turkey, Erdogan, and it was a failed attempt, obviously, and people will obviously pay a very high price. But looking at the markets and looking at the Turkish lira, we got the Turkish lira up right now. I specifically put it in a different color scheme to drive home the point that we've had this tremendous rally here, as you can see here, late last week as the coup was actually happening, and then we have a correctional move. We gap down, as you can see here, and we're selling off to 294-ish right now. Looking at world events and looking at what's been happening in the Turkish lira over the past year, we've been between these two trading extremes at 304 and on the bottom at 277. So we've been trading between those two ranges. Had you been early enough to fade this move early enough and catch this short, that would have been a great move. At this stage, we'll probably be trading between 296, I would say, and 288. So if you want to hit for a small move, just to play the gauges of the extremities of this move, those would be my two pivot points. Okay, the rationale of trading this right now is that it's moving, it's got volume, it's got hopefully some character, and there'll be some sort of correctional move in the opposite direction to readdress how strong the Turkish lira is. Over time, unfortunately, as you can see here, the Turkish lira has been depreciating against the dollar from 187 to all the way to 3-ish on the top level. Okay, so there's going to be some volatility in it. Some correctional moves are anticipated. So, if you're able to catch this on the way down, that might be a really great trade from 293-ish level and to start covering at 289-ish, 290-ish level. So it's a trade for thought, not for the weak of heart. If you are scalping, it might be a great opportunity, and it is volatile. So just, a word of caution, just be careful as you're trading this as well. Looking at the other markets, let's look at the Dow first. Dow is trading at 18,453, just shy of its highs last week. You see this little bit of a sell-off as we hit this upper range. Does it mean that it's given up? No, it looks like the bulls still have what to give and where to go. The question is how much higher? Looking at a graph, we're at all-time highs here, so we can go to 18,600, 18,900. It's all the same to us at this stage from a technical perspective. I would expect some sort of capitulation, okay, and a correctional move, but where that is exactly, I have yet to determine for myself and how the market is representing itself. So Dow Jones still very strong. I still expect a follow-through on, which is a little bit bizarre because usually in the summer it's usually a bearish time period. Usually the markets sell off. It's a little bit lighter trading, but considering it's a political year, it's an election year, we should see how this actually unfolds. Looking at gold trading at 1330 right here, 1329, excuse me, just between these two thresholds of 1348 and 1305. Had a correctional move from last week, okay, from 1370, 1380-ish level into 1329. So we're in between these two areas. Just like to see some sort of conviction one way or the other, and you're going to see that many of the symbols that we have been trading are still trading in you know, in the middle of the area. This is looking at the Euro USD. Kind of seems like we did nothing from last week. We rallied all the way to 1140 and then we sold off. And now we're right back in this middle of this range of 1068. So, you know, if you could play the ranges, great. Okay, if you can't play the ranges, then, you know, maybe, you know, don't trade and sit it out, because it's range trading. Okay, so as long as you're buying the bottom of the move, as long as you're selling the top of the move, you can make some good money. But anywhere in between, you're really finding yourself in less of a high probability trade, in which case you might get whiplashed in either direction. So looking at the USD CAD also as well, we're right here in the middle of the move. We rallied all the way up to 131, sold off to 129-ish, low 929-ish, 128-ish high, and now we're back in this middle of the move. So again, you know, we're just finding this new ground that we've been trading in ever since Brexit, ever since oil kind of toppled, you know, and ever since oil kind of leveled off. So the currencies are trading in tandem with that. Looking at oil here, also trading at 45.97, not that much different than where we were a week ago, even though we hit a low of 44.20 last week. We've been still in this area. I still think it's a short. I still think it's, you know, it's something that will continue going down, maybe to 40-ish level, but that remains to be seen. Looking at the GBP USD as well, 32.48. We rallied all the way to 34.87 last week from 128, a low of 128, and now we're right here smack in the middle between 134 and between 128-ish, 129-ish levels. So again, I'd like to see some sort of conviction in one direction or in the other. Just not to be in this middle ground is very difficult to decipher which way to go. This is Razak at CMTrading. Want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.